Welcome to the channel, Recapped. Today we will see a 2016 American supernatural horror movie named Lights Out. Spoiler alert. As the movie begins, we see Paul, who is engaged in a video call with his son Martin. Martin tells his father that his mother's health is getting bad again. And she again is talking to herself. Paul tells him not to worry as he is coming back home. And everything will be fine then after. On the other side, when Paul's assistant is about to switch off the office lights, she notices a silhouette of some strange lady. She turns on the lights to check, but the figure disappears. When she turned the lights off, the scary silhouette appears again, and this happens 5 times. Then the assistant feels as if the figure is coming very close to her. This scares her a lot. She goes to Paul and tells him that someone is there, but Paul is busy at the call and pays no attention to her. And he asks her to go home. While going home, she says, "Be careful, Paul," and leaves. When Paul is about to leave for his home, he sees the silhouette figure too. The figure starts approaching him slowly. Paul tries to escape from it, but gets attacked by her and gets wounded by her sharp claws. Then she appears again, in front of Paul, who then notices that she can appear only in the dark. Realizing this, he runs towards his well-lit office room. But suddenly all the lights in the office goes off. Someone tries to open his office door, but when the door gets open, no one appears. At the same time, Paul gets pulled back with unknown force, which throws him back after killing him. Times pass, and we see Martin, who is getting ready to sleep. He hears some voice, and when he checks, he sees his mother talking with someone in her dark room. When Martin's mother, Sophie, sees him, she gets to him and says, "We are sorry as we scared you." Martin gets shocked and scared when Sophie says this, as there is no one else, except her mom, in the room. Martin is returning back to his room, and as he looks back at her mom, he notices a scary claw of some entity in there. He gets frightened again and runs towards his room. When he is back in his bed, he notices someone trying to open his door, after which he was unable to sleep, as he was too scared. Next morning, Martin falls asleep at his school, so the child welfare group tries to contact Sophie. But they were unable to contact her, and they call upon Martin's stepsister Rebecca. Martin and Rebecca are from the same mother. Then the school teacher informs her that Martin has been falling asleep in his class lately. And this was the 3rd instance he did so this week. A Child Protective Services agent questions Rebecca about Martin's living conditions. Rebecca tells the official that Sophie has depression and is taking antidepressants. Then Rebecca goes with Martin to their mother, Sophie's home, where she inquires Martin whether their mother meets and talks with people or not. Martin replies saying their mother talks only with Diana. Rebecca assures him here that Diana is not real, and that she had also heard their mother talk to the imaginary girl when she was a child. Rebecca then gets into an argument with Sophie when she realizes her mother is not taking her medication. She decides to take Martin to her apartment and sends him to pack his stuffs. When Martin comes back from his room after packing, he looks into his mother's room, and the scary shadow appears. Rebecca asks Sophie for taking Martin to her own house for some days, and Sophie starts crying after hearing this. Sophie tries to stop them both, but Rebecca does not pay heed to her, and Martin too follows Rebecca as he is much frightened since he saw the demonic figure. During the night at Rebecca's house, Rebecca wakes up suddenly and notices Martin is not lying next to her. Then she hears some scratching near her door. She thinks that Martin is scribbling something. Then she notices the lights coming from the window into her room is flickering. She then sees that scary shadow too. Before the lights would get off again, Rebecca runs and turns her room lights on. And the shadowy figure disappears. Then she goes to check the washroom, where she finds Martin sleeping in the bathtub holding a flashlight switched on, while still sleeping. Next morning, child welfare lady arrives at her home and takes Martin with her as Sophie was his legal guardian. After this, Rebecca notices the scribbling and finds the name Diana scribbled there along with a stick figure. Seeing this, she remembers finding the same name and drawing as a child, and realizes that Diana is real. Then we see Rebecca going to her mother's home with her boyfriend, Brett. She asks him to stay downstairs and watch for her mother, while Rebecca goes searching for some proof related to Diana, and there she finds a box of medical records and some research in Paul's office. His findings revealed that her mother was admitted to a mental hospital as a child. While there, she befriended a young patient named Diana. Diana suffered from a severe skin condition that meant she could not go out in sunlight. And she was accidentally killed by the hospital staff when they tried an experimental surgery on her under intense light. It was also believed that Diana was evil and was able to get into people's heads. And Diana's father committed suicide after Diana got into his head and influenced him to kill himself. When Rebecca enters her childhood room, then Diana locks her inside the room and attacks her. Rebecca screams, and Brett comes running inside and unlocks the door. As the light enters the room, Diana disappears. Rebecca gets too frightened at this and leaves the house carrying that box with her. Then Sophie and Martin are seen returning back to the house, and Sophie says she wants to spend some good time with him, so we all will sit together and watch some movies. Martin gets scared again and corrects her by saying, "Only we two." Then they both are seen watching the movie, and Sophie switch off the lights in the room. After which Diana comes there too. This scares off Martin very badly. Sophie tells Martin that Diana is her childhood friend and she kept her away from herself for so long, but now she will live with us. But Martin runs away in fear, turning the lights on, and Diana hits Sophie in anger. Martin goes straight to Rebecca's apartment where he tells her what he saw. Rebecca calms him down and tells him that we have to save our mother from this witch, and for that the mother needs to take her medicines. As whenever she skips her medicines, she gets mentally weak, due to which Diana dominates her. Martin replies by saying, she will never let that happen, as their father also tried doing the same but Diana killed him. Then the doorbell rings, and Rebecca goes to check, but finds no one out there. Some noise starts coming from the room inside, as Diana grabs and drags Martin under the bed. Rebecca runs to his aid and wins the tug of war and drags him out. Then she goes to her mother's house with Martin and Brett, where she inquires her about Diana. At first Sophie shows indifference to the name Diana. But when Rebecca shows her the picture of them being together, she admits Diana to be her childhood friend. They stage an intervention with Sophie about how Sophie is letting Diana haunt them. Sophie becomes irate during this conversation, and she and Rebecca they both argue and Sophie leaves, in anger. Now Rebecca asks Martin to come with her, but Martin refuses, and says her mother needs him. And I will not leave my mom in such difficult times. Rebecca and Brett decides to stay there as well. Rebecca switches on all the lights in the house and starts fixing them with tapes, so that it can't be turned off. Apart from this, they installed some extra lights too. Then we see Sophie, who looks much worried now. She sneaks a piece of paper in Rebecca's hand. When Rebecca opens it, "I need help" was written in it. Sophie, now, somehow senses the danger and wants to be helped. Rebecca consoles Martin, saying they would find some solution to help their mother and everything would be fine after that. The same night, Diana cuts the power supply of the neighborhood and darkness prevails everywhere. Rebecca wakes up and gets frightened seeing it's dark everywhere. She goes to the basement to check the fuse and restore the lights. And then Martin also wakes up and finds him sleeping alone. He manages to light a candle and starts searching for Rebecca. Then suddenly Diana comes to him and scares Martin, and starts dragging him, but when Martin shines the candle light in her direction, she disappears. Martin follows her sister to the basement, who is checking the fuse box. As they both were in the basement, they realized that sending them to basement was some sort of trap. Just then, Diana immediately shuts the basement door closed. Rebecca and Martin starts knocking the door and calling Brett for help. Brett approaches there after listening to their voices. While he was trying to open the door, Diana attacks him too, and throws away the flashlight he was holding. When she is about to kill him, he turns his mobile light on and saves himself. Diana attacks him again and breaks his mobile. Brett tries to run outside, but Diana keeps attacking him. Then he turns the car headlights on and saves himself from being killed. Brett then drives away to bring some help in the same car. While all this was happening, Sophie wakes up and she realizes that Diana is not her friend and she is going to harm her children. Diana appears when called upon by Sophie, and Sophie asks her to stay away from her children. Hearing this, Diana tries to scare Sophie. But she was not afraid of her and tells Diana that it's she who needs her, so you better stay away from my children. When Sophie is about to take her antidepressants, Diana hits her and her head strikes the table and she becomes unconscious. Here Diana stops her from taking the medicine, as this will make Sophie mentally strong, and then it won't be easy to dominate her. On the other side, Martin and Rebecca lights up a fire in the basement. And Martin finds a UV light over there. Rebecca used that UV light and moves inside, so that she may find something useful. There she finds that Diana lives in the same basement, because there is always dark in there. And she notices and read messages written over there by Diana, which says that if she comes between Sophie and her, she would kill her. While she was reading the messages, Diana appears in the basement and attacks Rebecca. The UV light was not strong enough to scare her, so Rebecca starts running away from her, but Diana grabs her by her hand. Suddenly light appears in the room and Diana's skin starts burning. As Martin came inside for Rebecca's rescue with a flashlight, Diana leaves them and they both run away from there. They both hear the police siren coming from outside and starts knocking at the basement door. The police team called for help by Brett was of 1 male and 1 female officer. They got Rebecca and Martin out of the basement. Diana appears in front of them again and attacks the senior policeman, causing his death. Rebecca tells the female officer to use flashlight, but she ignores her and Diana kills her too. Then Rebecca and Martin are seen heading out of the house, but Martin doesn't want to leave Sophie behind. As Brett comes to the door, Rebecca asks him to take Martin out of the house and she herself goes inside to bring Sophie back. But Diana gets hold of her and this time she attacks her quite bad and throws her down the second-floor balcony. She then comes down to Rebecca and says that she would kill her as she killed her father. She was about to kill Rebecca, but Sophie appears behind her with a gun. Sophie tells Diana that if she ever harmed any of her children, she would make her pay. Then she points a gun at Diana and shoots her. Diana says, "This gun can't harm me." At this moment Sophie realizes that she herself is the cause of Diana's existence, and to save her children, she puts the gun to her own head and pulls the trigger, just as Diana is about to stop her from doing so. Diana disappears into dust as Sophie dies. Rebecca starts sobbing for her mother. Then more police officers come over the place. Rebecca, Brett and Martin promise to live together forever and movie ends here. Thanks for watching. And do like and subscribe the channel for more.